A very good evening, folks. I said I will pop on, have a chat with you just in regards to the game tonight. Another defeat in less than a week under Wilfried Nancy's term at Celtic. Some people might say it was a free hit tonight, but when you've a full stadium of fans that have paid their hard-earned money to go and see Celtic play in the second tier of European football, to get beaten at home 3-0, and it could have been 4 or 5-0. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing because I know fans are saying to themselves, he's only in the door. He's only had about 5 training sessions with the team. He's trying to implement a style of football, but it's a result business, folks. And I think his post-match reaction, saying he was impressed with the mentality of the players. It's about results. It's about results. And Schmeichel pulled off some decent saves tonight, but Liam Scales, even though he would be nominated probably for the Player of the Year, but he was horrendous tonight. Evan Ferguson tore him a new one. And even up front, Days on my head, it didn't look like he was up for it. And Nacho came on at half time, and he looked like he was more up for it in the first 10 minutes than the whole lot of Maeda was doing in that whole time on the pitch. Very, very fucking disappointing, folks. Just like I wasn't expecting to go out and beat Roma tonight. I said it on Sunday night. It's just we're declining and declining. And it's since Munich, we are not the same team. There's like we had a chance to make a 3-1. Arnie Ingles unfortunately missed the penalty. But you get that vibe when a player steps up for a penalty, they're gonna fuck it up. They're gonna fuck it up. And that midfield is rotten. Our defense is rotten. We have no ammunition on the flanks and up front. And you can see that this man is trying, he should have drip fed his philosophy into this team instead of throwing it straight in, trying to implement the style of football. He admitted it on his post-match reaction down to jet lag and changing the formation around straight away. I want Wilfried Nancy to succeed, as we all do as fans, but how much do you go on? Like if this goes wrong on Sunday, there will be people saying, "Oh, like why did we appoint this guy?" Like, and I feel sorry for him. I really do feel sorry for him. At the same time, I don't think this man understands how big Celtic Football Club is to fans. But now look at some fans left at half time, just had enough of it. Some fans left 65 minutes into the game, and that's their own choice. And I know there's going to be people in the comments saying, back the team, back the team. This team have no confidence. Martin O'Neill came in and got a reaction out of them. I just think there's a communication barrier with Wilfried Nancy and these players. I don't think they're taking the instructions right off Wilfried Nancy. I don't think they're getting this style of football into their heads just yet. They're trying to play a certain style of football. I had people in work saying to me the other day, "Oh, I was impressed with the first half an hour." So was I, but did it win the game against Hearts? No. It's a results business. Sometimes you have to play shy football to get the 3 points or get a win over the line. You can't always play expansive football. And it was a hard watch tonight. I had a feeling all week we're going to get smashed. But it's the reality is kicking in. The reality of the mess that Brendan Rodgers caused. And the board have a big shout out to this as well, you know. I don't want to write the manager off, but I think there's something there. Is it broken communication? Is he not seeing how big this means to fans? How important this is? Yeah, the Europa League. We're never going to win the Europa League. We're 24th now in the Europa League table. We need to win our final 2 games against Bologna and Utrecht to hopefully maybe get into the playoffs and so, or even push beyond the playoff spots. But it's just ridiculous. Like, you don't like what I'm gonna say, but I think it's a cheap option. Fucking cheap option by the board. And see them sitting there. See Ross Desmond, Michael Nicholson, Chris McCoy, Peter Lawwell. They don't give a fuck. They don't give a fuck. They're businessmen that line their pockets. If they really cared, they would have kept Martin O'Neill on. And this bullshit, Martin would not, probably didn't want it to the end of the season. He was enjoying it. He was enjoying it. One defeat in 7 games. Now 2 defeats. 2 defeats in less than a week. And we have St. Mirren and Hampden. And you know what? St. Mirren will be fancy their chances, because what's the fucking point playing a style of football where we're struggling at the back? Struggling. Tierney got whipped off. Donovan came on. He tried. You know, Bernardo came on. He tried. Badagwisha. This crop of players are disinterested. Half of them do not want to be there. And you've got a manager in from the MLS that has to get reaction out of this. One of the most important seasons for Celtic. Celtic are going for 5 in a row. And I've said it already. The more we fuck this up, the chances of Celtic winning the title, the chances go down and down. And you need to realise, are you happy watching Celtic like this? I know it's a part and parcel where you lose games and you get stronger from losing games. You get that kick. But I didn't see reaction from that team from Sunday getting beaten by Hearts. And look at Roma are a different class to Hearts. Look, they have quality players. They have a budget there. But you're in the Europa League, and the goals that we leaked, the set piece, the header, yeah, it was a scales on goal, but it's embarrassing. It's fucking embarrassing. And, you know, Lift Thursdays at Glasgow Central is the new for me. Stuck in here for an hour and 20 odd minutes. Another 13 people. That's just me home. Never use Glasgow Central low level lift. Sorry to hear that. Oh, you probably got fucking more production out of that lift than you did out of that fucking team tonight, to be honest. Another pissy night at Celtic Park and a pissy performance. And I'm sick of excuses. The fact is, there's no fight in this team. Martin O'Neill got a reaction out of him. There was no fight with Brendan Rodgers out there. There's been no fight since the Allianz Arena. This team are going down and down and down. And I think some fans need to wake up and smell the coffee. It's going to be hard to win this league. Really, really hard to win this league. Because we're shooting ourselves in the face every single fucking time. We're just not hungrier. We're just not taking our chances. We're not creating enough chances. It's too much ball, too much slow pace on the ball. There's not enough aggression on the play. It's hard to watch. And I know there's only 8 people watching me tonight. I said I'd pop on and chat to you. I know there's other podcasts on, but when people get around to this podcast, they'll understand that I don't want Wilfried Nancy to lose his job. He's after getting thrown into 3 difficult games. But one thing that sticks out to me in the last 2 games is how quick he goes up that tunnel. I'm not buying it. I'm really not buying it, folks. I think that's it. When you lose a game 3-0, regardless if there's 80% of the stadium gone, you try to go around and you try to show people that you are here. He's claiming that fans are the most important thing, and he's fucking running away quick enough when the final whistle goes. I'm not buying it. And the board have a big blame to this as well, but the team are to blame as well, massively, because they're just not up for it. They're just not up for it. Getting pumped by Hearts twice this season, not winning the derby at the start of the season, getting knocked out in the Champions League, getting fucking embarrassed by Roma at home. What if that was the Stadio Olimpico? Could have been probably worse. You know, the only positive thing that we've seen this season is Martin O'Neill getting us to a cup final, getting a win in Rotterdam. You know, it's a hard watch, and you know, you want to be positive. You want to say, right, this is just a bad blip at the moment. Things will get better. have a bit of patience, have a bit of faith, have that kind of mentality, because in football things will go wrong for a period, but when you're sacrificing losing a league title, or you could lose a League Cup this weekend, what do you do? Say, I'm hoping not to come onto this on Sunday night and say the same conversation I had on last Sunday, the way that, look, things should get better, but it's getting harder and harder. It's hard to believe in the squad, regardless who's in charge. Yes, Martin did get a reaction, but Brendan couldn't get a reaction because he lost it. He lost the dressing room. And how long will it take until WILFRIED Nancy gets what he wants? People are saying about January, about players coming in. Let's just get this into your heads. The Celtic board are not going to spend serious amount of money in January. They're not. They'd be lucky to spend about 50 a minute. Just put that into your head. Be realistic with yourself. All right, Keith, not a big fan of playing it across the defenders and punting it so long. And you know what really pissed me off tonight? Schmeichel punting it into the middle of the midfield. How many times did we lose the ball from that? How many times did we lose the ball from Kasper Schmeichel kicking it, trying to kick it to the halfway line, and they capitalised from it? They read us like a book, Roma did. In the second half, for the first 10, 15 minutes, we started getting it. And probably the highlight of the whole fucking game was a Nacho slide tackle on their player. The highlight of the night was Joe Hart speaking the truth about when you come to Celtic, you have to earn your way of winning games. Look, Ange, his first 3 games, getting beaten by Hearts, getting beaten by Livingston, getting beaten by Midtjylland. That was fucking hard to watch. But this is 10 times worse, because you have a crop of players in that squad that have done this, that have won the trebles, that have won titles, that have been there, that are more experienced now, and they should be relishing the chance of this, going out in front of a full stadium, taking it to Roma, taking the fight to Roma. There's no fight in this squad, folks. There's no fight. Struggling to get a penalty taker. Rio Tate, no, Arnie Ingles to take it, and he knew when he was stepping up, he didn't want to didn't want to do it, like, get a reaction. But the team, well done for his last 3 games. It's just Martin O'Neill. He did get a reaction. But it's just this team. I just think this team have checked out. They've been checked out since the Allianz Arena, and it's the erosion of confidence, the erosion of the lack of confidence in the squad, the lack of belief. Yeah, Callum McGregor comes up with some fucking phenomenal goals, but he has to get a reaction. He is the man on that pitch. He is the leader. And WILFRIED Nancy keeps saying he's not the boss, he's the leader. I'm not buying this PR shit. We're not expecting to work fucking wonders here, but like, yet to still score a goal. Yes, we hit the post today with a missed penalty. Yes, the Nacho scored and it was offside, but it's just they look so disorganized. They look like they're all over the shop. Why did he not stay with the same formation till after the cup final? Get that confidence, get that belief, be Hearts at home, and then Roma be a tough game. If you lose to Roma, at least you have a bit of fight. At least the guys are used to the system. They're used to playing that system for the last 2 years. And you're getting people saying, well, the professional footballers that are built to adapt to different formations, different tactics. Right now, St. Mirren will actually be saying, right, you know what? Yes, Roma are a class team, but you know what? They don't have a fight in them, Celtic. And this is what I'm getting off fans. This stubbornness of, oh, St. Mirren will take care of itself. The final will take care of itself. Oh, we're fine. They're the underdogs. We're the favourites. We should be fine. We'll go out and hockey St. Mirren. Stop thinking like that. That's not the same Celtic team that Ange had. We just don't have that team. We don't have them individuals. You're looking, for example, Nicholas Kuhn. Can't score a goal in his life over in Como. No assists. You've got Kyogo, 18 games into his Birmingham career, a handful of goals, and that was in the Carabao Cup. He hasn't scored the championship. You got Adam Eder with 2 goals in fucking 19 games, or Swansea. He's pure flopping it. And you've got Matt O'Reilly, who's doing all right at Marseille. Players that were a massive part of our goal contributions last season and the season before. We don't have that flame there in the pitch. Dazen Moyeda wants to leave Celtic. He made it clear he wants to leave Celtic. And he doesn't moan. He doesn't show all he doesn't show face expressions. He's bored of it. He's bored of it. He's fed up with it, like Rio Atate is fed up with it. They've had their sale. They've came over here. They've got their medals. They've had the Champions League nights. Mute them on in January. And I know people say, "Oh, it's going to be a big miss from Maeda." What's the point of having someone that's half checked into the job? What's the point of having someone that comes in 2 days a week? Where you're going to bring someone in that wants to play. It's a new chapter for them. It's a step up for them. It's a chance for them to relish and play in front of a 60,000 seater stadium and 60,000 seater fans and get there, get behind it. It's going to be a ride on. It is going to be a ride on Sunday, and I'm expecting extra time. I'm expecting a difficult game, folks. Really difficult game. Are the board maybe working on a ticket out? Why they don't care? No, they're not. Look, the board will be there as long as they can. This is a pension for them. This is money for them. This is bonuses for them. That board are on ridiculous amount of money. Michael Nicholson's on 900 grand a year. You got Ross Desmond there tonight. Fucking Mr. Slating Celtic fans at an AGM, causing trouble at an AGM. I'm trying to say that Celtic fans are to blame. Celtic fans are not to blame. Celtic fans are probably the most passionate fans in the world. They're concerned about the operations of the club. They're concerned about the infrastructure from the top down to the bottom. They're concerned about the lack of investment in the first team. They're concerned about the lack of clarity from the board. That's what they're concerned about. So all this bullshit of blaming fans and blaming politics for this downfall of this season, it's the fucking board's fault. People have been backing the board and sugarcoating this shit for a long time. And people might say, well, it's affecting the team on the pitch. It's affecting this. These players are professional footballers. Regard to hostile environments or good environments, they should be fucking taking the chance to go out there. They're getting paid enough money to put a shirt on and play for this institution and be a winner. Be a winner, not half-arsed and taking teams for granted. Roma are a really good side. If that Celtic team, that was Ange Postecoglou's team 2 or 3 years ago, I guarantee we probably would have beaten that team, Roma, tonight. If we had that Kyogo service or that Matt O'Reilly spring or that Nicholas Kiln chance. I know that was Brendan Rodgers signing Kiln, or even that Jota spark or Alistair Johnston. The point is, you should have faith in the team that you put out on that pitch, and they're just a lost set of souls. It's like they're chasing shadows at times. That's how fucking bad it looks. That's how bad it looks. It's not even panic, it's reality. Like, I'm not panicking. Do I believe the league is done? I'm throwing the towel in. I've been throwing the towel in for a long fucking time about this league, because it's not even managers now. It's the players in their ability. They're not wearing. Some of these players are not even hitting third gear. He needs a win. He should have kept the same formation as Martin O'Neill and then drip fed in, get that trophy over the line, have that confidence, have that morale, and then we won't be sitting here like, oh, look at. As I said, some fans will not take this defeat serious tonight because it's the Europa League. Some people were like, oh, I was expecting, and that's it. Move on, Keats. Whoop-de-doo. Big ones on Sunday. Every game you watch, every time you put a shirt on, every single fan that goes to that stadium, that team are representing us. They're out there to do a job. They're out there to go to battle, not to fucking look like it's a training session for Roma, you know? And I know in the second half we played a little bit better, but not enough. Not enough aggression, not enough belief in that squad. And Wilfried Nancy better take his words back of Celtic is a project, is my next project. This is not a project. It's not a project. And maybe he was raised different in France and he knows what Celtic Football Club is about. But he needs to hear it from people within the club. He needs to see it from the fan base. He should feel it himself. Not fucking running down, walking straight down that tunnel at full time, shaking the manager's hand and running down. Clermont done that at Rangers. Come on, like. And you're not copping onto these signs. He didn't have his tactic board tonight. I'm not really worried about the whole tactic board nonsense, and that's his way of coaching and tactics. That's what he wants to do. Leave him do it. But don't be saying he's oppressed with the mentality and Roma were too good. Have a fight. Celtic were known, even if we're playing against a Barcelona or a Bayern Munich or the Juventus, we may get beaten 3 or 4-0, but we put a fight on. And tonight there wasn't enough fight. There wasn't enough fight, you know. 20 million on Barrowfield. We could have brought 2 lower league clubs and filled the youth system. See, the thing about the youth system, Stephen, is I know what you're saying. We could have went out and looked again, developing youth players. What's happening with the youth players? Ben Doak fucked off to Liverpool. Danny Kelly's starting to do well down in Millwall. You know, our under 16 captain could be going. You know, it's not getting enough youth through, and when the youth come through, they're not giving them that lucrative contract to keep them. Yeah, Donovan came through, and Donovan's learning the trade, but not enough, and it just shows. Like as I said, I'm not going to sugarcoat this. I was speaking to a guy that subscribes to the channel, comes into my job, lovely man. Shout out to Henry, and he said to me today, he said, Keith, I don't really care about the Europa League. We're going to win the treble this year. And I said, not a chance. Not a fucking chance, man. He's looking at me, he's like, yeah. I goes, we're nearly halfway through this season, and you're telling me, by the evidence you see, we're going to win the treble. I goes, I know you've been around a long, long time, Henry, and you've seen dark days and you've seen good days, but fuck me. I do not believe we're going to win a treble. We'd be lucky to win a fucking 1 trophy this season, the way things are going. And he said, Hearts will burst. Well, Hearts, this is the thing. Hearts may drop points against other teams before they came to Celtic Park. But Hearts got the job done at Celtic Park to still maintain a gap, even though we have a game in hand. That's the difference. The difference is they have hunger in their fucking squad. The difference is they play for their manager. Regardless if we were Brendan, Martin had a reaction out of that team. And the board this is one of the biggest mistakes Celtic board have ever done. They should not got rid of Martin O'Neill. They should never got rid of, because what they done was they wanted to bring Nancy in because they didn't want to let it get closer to the MLS season because it would have cost them more. That's what it was. Cheap fucking option. And I want Nancy to succeed, but he needs to change. He's going to stick to his plan. He's going to stick to his style of football, and it may pay off. And I hope it pays off, because we all not want to be sitting here typing how bad our team's playing. We want to be sitting here saying, oh, how fucking good was that player? Or how good was that bit of play? Or how good was Celtic Park is not feeling the energy. The energy, like I wasn't at the game tonight. I was at the last game I was at was Camargue. Yet we won. It does not feel right. It has not felt right since Bayern Munich. We've had a couple of drip moments where we've had, oh, great against Rangers. Oh, we won the league at Tannadice. Oh, but that's really it. That's really it. And I know it can't always be rosy and green every fucking game. But what you should expect is you should expect a team that go out there and play for you, play for the rest of the fucking fans, not doubting themselves, not feeling like, oh shit, I can't take that guy on. I better pass that back to Scales, or I better pass that back to Ralston. There's no urgency in the play. It's predictable. It's easy to play against, and this is why we're getting punished. You know, he won't be gone on Sunday. He won't be gone on Sunday. He'll get the window. He won't be gone. He won't be gone regardless. And I feel that's very, you know, as much as it's pissing me off and the pain of losing games, the Hearts and getting slapped around by Roma. And if we were to get beaten by St. Mirren, even though St. Mirren are playing shit at the moment, they always give Celtic a good game. That won't do enough to get Nancy at the door. Maybe to the fans' opinions, it's a results business. We all want success, Gaddafi, but it won't be enough. And I think they'll give him to the end. They'll give him to the end of the season. You know. Yes, I completely agree. I just think French people are built different. Some French people are built different when it comes to a type of culture of football. And I know he's passionate, and I know he believes in the vision. I know he's his coaching staff there, and he's trying to implement the style of football. But for fuck's sake, you're after conceding 5 goals in the last 2 games, and 2 of the goals have been coming from corners. You know, you can see that we're getting exposed at the back with the 3. You can see how easy it was for Roma in the first half. You know, scrambling back Celtic are. Like, it just feels like a dodgy bike chain. It just feels like there's a couple of dodgy links in that bike chain, and you're not going to get that pedal. You're not going to get that push on that BMX. That's what it feels like. It feels like it's not getting there. And I know I know a lot of you are having the patience game, and some of you are like, fuck that, throw the towel in on Sunday. How I feel right now, I'm not seeing enough. I'm not seeing enough to make me feel like we're going to win this league. And I know there's a lot of games to go. Well, how many games are we into the league now? Is it even 19 games yet? Let's see. Like, we have to play Hearts twice, play Rangers. And I sent this today, and I'm being realistic about this. And this is not me. This is not me about being negative. This 15 games, right? Celtic have played so far. And there's 38 games in the season, right? What I see is a team that are lacking that champions formula. They're lacking this belief that they are the fucking champions of this league. Or either they have this stubbornness that they think they are the champions, and they think they'll have enough to just polish the game away. This is what it is, you know. He needs to go back to the back 4. Simple as 100%. 100%. I posted on Baz's live, we'll lose 2-0 in 20 minutes. I was a bit right. Fair play to Baz going live, you know. He's committed to what he does. He's a good YouTuber, and I wish him the very best with his channel. He's a good lad. Good lad. Someone was complaining the other night about him, didn't like his views on certain things and stuff like that. But everyone's entitled to opinion. I like Baz. I think he works. He puts the shift in. You know, we need to clear out. We need to clear it from top down to bottom. We need to clear it out on the pitch. We need to clear it out on that board. And I know people might say, well, the boards weren't playing tonight. The board are the ones that pull the strings. The board are the one that should be putting the money into the squad. You know, this sounds weird, and you might agree with me, David. Maybe it was a blessing we didn't get into the Champions League because we would have been getting hockey FIFA scores. You know, it's a bad night for Scottish coefficient. It's and I'm there sitting there and I'm saying to myself, fucking hell, it'll be a matter of time where Celtic will be playing in the Conference League at this rate. We have a chance of actually winning a trophy in European standards, but people think I'm overreacting. I'm not. I'm seeing it from my own eyes. I've been feeling this for a long time now, folks. I've been feeling this since the Scottish Cup final, to be honest, as much as we dropped from after Munich. Last good result, Celtic actually had a good, well, bar the Rangers game at Hampden. See if Nancy is still here in January. This will be it will be rotten to the board, to the core. Board will give him cash to spend or be in the middle of a dono. They won't spend the money. They won't spend it. And there's a bit of sympathy there for Wilfried Nancy because obviously he's after moving over from America. He jumped too quick. And I mean he jumped too quick in everything. I think it was the board pushing him with meeting the players. The guy was jet laggy. He admitted in his press conference. You go back to that press conference before the game. The press conference he done yesterday. And that press conference went on for 11 minutes. And that, I guarantee you, there's a lot of questions that were put onto that press conference. Give you an example. Look at fan media. A lot of Celtic fan media are not at these press conferences because the real answers are not the real questions, and the real answers are not being put to the public, to the fans. And you know, it's shocking. Yeah. The board could have sold them. The board could have turned around and said, you know, this is a phenomenal job, Wilfried. We'll give you this. We'll give you this vision. We have a great sports science. We have great facilities. We have a great fan base. We have this. We have that. Oh yeah, sell the project. But you gotta know, like, when you're investing into a project, what's at stake is the most important thing. Like, this is this man's first European game, and yet you're playing against a phenomenal team that are doing well in Serie A. They're going to be challenging this season, the Serie A. But it's just it's horrible to watch. It's horrible to watch. The board will never take the blame for their actions. So how can it be moved on? Do you know what's going to eventually happen? And I know a lot of people won't like this. I know every football club is a business, and every football club has a waiting list. And every football club, change eventually happens. If it's managers, as Roger says, boards don't get sacked. Executives don't get sacked, really. Managers get sacked first. When Celtic don't win leagues and things kind of decline, as we see on the Ronnie Doyle season, with the banners and the banners in the stands and the Lisbon Lion stand, it will go like that because fans will, as much as they love the club and they want to be there supporting the team, would you risk paying 50 quid or paying £39 or paying £35 to go and watch your team play? And it's not, and they're not playing a style of football that will hurt teams. They're playing at a level where they're doubting themselves. They're not testing the keeper. They're not getting enough on the wings. They're giving away sloppy goals. You got to think about it like that, you know? And people are boycotting the merch. People are, you know, people are boycotting it. McAvenny's a good lad. Obviously, Frank McAvenny calls it as it is. Someone says bring the Green Brigade back. What about the boys? What about the rest of the fans in the fucking stadium? This is not always about relying on the Green Brigade for the atmosphere. It should be every single other fucking fan that's in that stadium. But all of them are sitting there and looking at this and like, get up off your seat and fucking sing. Get behind your team. You can all say the same fucking cliche, back the team. No point sitting, there's no point going to a game and paying that money and sitting there on your fucking hole with your hat on, your scarf on, and not believing that your team, that squad needs you. That squad needs you. You should be the 12th man. Should be the 12th man. I'm not gonna go out my way and spend money near Christmas to watch a team get fucking pumped in the Europa League. There's bigger things to be worrying about at the moment in life. I made it clear. I love this channel. I love being passionate about Celtic. I love watching games. I do like buying the merch, but I haven't bought the merch this season since the start of the season because fuck that. You know, I think he is losing the fans, and it's sad to say. It really is a sad state of affairs when you're 2 games into your managerial reign at a club and you're losing fans already. Is it fans being too fucking picky, or is it just he's been sold a job that's too fucking good for him, where he may not cut it? It's a weird situation we're in. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. I would appreciate it as well. Was he the cheap option? 100% he was the cheap option. They didn't want to get Knutson because it would have cost them a fortune. They didn't want to get anyone fucking else. They didn't want to get Kieran McKenna because he was on 90 grand a week. They got WILFRIED Nancy because he's come from the MLS, because he has experience on his CVs. And I spoke to the Florida crew guys from Columbus, and they reassured me that Nancy will get together. He's not afraid to take risks. And yes, he took Maeda and Tierney off. And who else did he take off? Who else did he take off? Was it Tate? No, it was not Tate. Was it Tate he took off at halftime? Negrin. But just a fucking mess. And big game on Sunday, folks. Big game. I'm going out on Sunday for it. I'm trying to get a ticket for the game. I put on my socials, looking for the ticket. It's the truth. Dominic, you're on the money. And it's crazy to think we all love this club, but the board is driving me away and I'm losing interest fast. Because you're not being heard. The fans are not being heard. The fans have lost. A lot of fans I know have lost interest. And you may turn around and say they're not real fans. They are real fans. They're just hurting. They're hurting. They're not hurting of being spoiled of success for years. They're hurting because they don't know where we're going as a club. They don't see the vision. They don't see what's ahead in a positive manner. All they see what's ahead is fans are getting banned from the stadium. Merch is being dropped left, right, and centre. Enough money's being put into the squad. We have a squad of players that are they're done in. They're done in. You know, you say driving me away. I think half of them players have driven themselves away, to be honest. You know, it really is a mad one. If Nancy was so brilliant, why didn't this is what I asked this guy. I asked one that answered tonight, Mike, and I said to Mike, I goes, what's the story? I goes, was he linked with any other clubs before that? And he said last year he was linked with a move to France. I think it was Toulouse, if I'm correct. And that was it. And you're right, Stephen. No English clubs or European clubs want him because he's not established. He's not established. He has no European experience. And look at we could go back to 2020 when we done this to Ange, where Ange at one point we didn't even know we were going to have Ange because he didn't have a UEFA license. I know Nancy has a UEFA license because he done his badges and stuff with Henri and all that in France. But the problem is, it's just there's a decline. We have a squad of players. He's playing Yang and he's playing Taneki as wing backs. They're fucking attacking players. You want to get the best out of them, you push them up. You push them up, you know. You need to push them up. That's it. Look it. It's a yes man. Simple as. And he was asked about, is he one of these type of managers that checks the internet and he always says everyone's a right to say what you need to say. The fact is, we wanted any manager that takes over the job at Celtic, we want them to wish them the very best in their job. This time last week, I was putting up videos of WILFRIED Nancy and saying, oh, well, maybe this is a sign, this is giving me Ange vibes. Maybe it's giving me early Ange negativity vibes. But I would love to be turned around saying to you as a mate, oh, fucking hell, that was a kick in the teeth for a couple of weeks, but we got over it. And this is where we are now with another league title, but a far, far long way to go. I feel like we're in a desert. I feel like we're on a desert island. I feel like I'm Tom Hanks and that Celtic board are on their yacht and they can see us, they can hear us, but they're too busy smoking them Cuban cigars and laughing at the fans. That's what it feels like. I feel like that's what we're doing right now. They're throwing the odd package at us. And that package is WILFRIED Nancy, and it hasn't succeeded so far. It hasn't given enough fans evidence that, okay, but maybe we are onto something here. Maybe we're onto a bit of something different. Maybe it is a bit refreshing. But it's not at the moment. It's not in the moment. Let me know how you're feeling about Sunday, folks. Are you confident? Are you worried? Let me know how you're feeling about the game tonight as well. Let me know how you're feeling in January, in general, about everything. As I said, I've had a couple of people already saying that they feel like the board have, dragged them away from Celtic because of the incompetence of them, the lack of clarity, the lack of investment. We could say Barrafield was investment, but it's the investment in the team. The team bring you revenue in. Jersey sales. If you have good players that become fan favorites, it's jersey sales. It's a mad year. It's been a mad since, as I said, since February. It's just been, the trend is going down, down, down. Stephen says, it seems like Fozzie said Martin wanted to stay longer because he loves the club. I liked Fozzie. I like Sean. I don't know. I was a bit hesitant about Sean Maloney, but I have to say, Sean was pretty productive on that sidelines, and obviously there's a lot of praise for Sean Maloney. There was from Martin O'Neill as well, taking the team and the training sessions and Lennoxtown and stuff. To watch such a decline of a team in just 12 months, it really is. It's like the best way to say it, Typhoon, is it's like someone having stage 3 or stage 4 cancer and they're just deteriorating and there's nothing that you can do about it. As much as you want to scream and shout and get your feelings out there, it feels like you're going through that experience with Celtic. It just feels like, yes, form is temporary, but it's everywhere you turn. From it in the stands, from the lack of transfers, from the managerial situation, from the lack of play, just in general, just talking to people about it. It's just it doesn't feel right, So John says, I've been going to Celtic Park since the 50s, and through the good times and through the bad times, but never I thought I would see another Kelly and white shamble, but this board are getting there. John, there's only one word for that. Great. Great. Selfishness. Selfish. It is a board of cronies, a board that don't want to dialect with you, a board that are quick enough to slap each other on the back and say, well done on the revenues, well done on this, well done on that, money in the bank. Oh, stock exchange will be laughing at us, but yeah, you've failed 7 times out of 12 years to get us into the Champions League. You brought back a manager that fucked us over. Yeah, I wanted him back because I thought he would have been the best candidate at the time, but he fucked us over. Like, these lads are not serious about running this club onto a new level. Instead, we are going back 2 steps. You know, that they're saying it's all about can't afford, and we can't afford because of the climate of football, and blaming Brexit and blaming this, blaming all this shite that we can't compete. You have 77 million in the bank. No one's going out and asking you to go out and buy a fucking player for 50 million. Go out and actually buy players where you can identify someone that could be a 5 million player, is looking to get the breakthrough, looking to be hungry, getting that chance, taking them from that club, building them, letting them get an impact, and maybe 2 or 3 years' time selling that guy for 25 million. But no, we don't have that at the moment, you know. Need to follow Dortmund's fan ownership, Keith. Should be a takeover. Yeah, should be. The problem is there's too much shares being swallowed up by certain individuals and certain shareholders that are not at the same concern and level, even though they may have the money behind them and can say that they are more invested than us, but they're not. They're not emotionally more invested than us. It's a business to them, but it's not a passion to them. It's not a passion. It's not it's not for them to get up on a tomorrow morning and feel like fucking hell. Oh, did I lose sleep last night over that? Oh, am I thinking about that bad performance from that player? No, they don't care. They don't care. You know, that's the truth. That is the truth. Copenhagen, Bodo Glimt, Club Bruges, Basel. We're bigger than all these clubs. Bigger than all these clubs. And these clubs get operate better than us. With their transfers, with their fan engagements, with their belief. Look at Bodo Glimt is a prime example. I've talked about Bodo Glimt so many times on this channel, and I will say this again and again. This is a team that slapped us around at home in the Europa League. On the Ange's first, season, we went on to do well. But Bodo Glimt have a manager that has a vision. It doesn't get boring to them. It doesn't get boring. When they get the players that have hit the heights, they cash in, they sell, and they still develop. They go into the Norwegian market, or they get players from other Scandinavian leagues, or they go into different leagues. They make it work. We don't make it work. Where's the days when we used to go out and buy players from our own league? Like a Barry Robson, like a Stephen Presley, like a Scott McDonald, like a Stephen Pearson, players like that, like a Hardy, and even a Kenny Miller at one point. And even though we didn't get him from his own, he done a job for Celtic. I know that's a name that shouldn't be mentioned, but did he win? Did he win? Help us win a league title? Yeah. We don't go out and look in our market anymore. We fucked up with John McGinn. We fucked up with Lennon Miller. You know, we could have had Aaron Hickey back at Celtic. We let him go early enough in his career. You know, we fucked up Andrew Robertson, and then they want him back now. They want him back because he's won everything and it'd be a good marketing stunt. It's just a fucking mess. You know, it's just a mess. It's a mess from top to bottom. And when fans call it out, they get penalised for it. Fans get punished. Why should fans get punished? Because they see the truth. Sometimes you need to speak the truth. Let these people know that this football club operates from the fan revenue, operates from a business of season tickets, merchandise, supporters clubs being invested in. It's just sad. It's a sad state of affairs. It really is. I hope you're enjoying the live tonight as well. I will be doing a live tomorrow night. I said the other night I was going to do one, but just sometimes you can't. You come up from work, you're just like, oh, fuck this. Do I have to? And it's not like a dread coming on. It's having the frame of mind to come on. As I said, I feel like when I'm watching Celtic, I feel like I'm out in the Sahara Desert. I've no water. I'm physically, mentally drained. And I'm hoping for this glory. And don't get me wrong, St. Martin came out of the skies and he gave me that glory to walk another 8 fucking miles. And there was one little bump in that 8 miles, but we got there. And now we have a manager that's trying to show us the direction. But I think the job's too big for him. And it just feels like that. I just feel like we're stuck in this desert of emotions, you know. This mirages of fucking pish, you know. That's what it feels like. Worried about Sunday. They know we will be. They look 100%. I went to a League Cup final against Kilmarnock, right, in 2012, and went in quite confident into that game. Celtic, we should not be in this position where we're feeling a little bit worried about this. This game's going extra time on Sunday. St. Mirren will score against us. Mark my words. But hopefully we can get over the line and get the trophy. And you look at it and you say, do we really deserve the trophy? But we obviously got through all them rounds. But it's just a season as a whole. Like, do you deserve to win this trophy? Well, because we married ourselves on a Rangers result. The games before we were fucking all right. Against Falkirk and Partick, was it? It's just been a mad fucking season. The Danish side also, Keith. Same stadium as Motherwell, and they do brilliant every year. What Danish side is that now? Danish side. Is it Molde? No, that's not Danish. They're not Danish. Midtjylland. Oh, Midtjylland. Yeah, of course. Midtjylland. We're embarrassing in Europe. We're embarrassing full stop. We have to keep the faith, though. Inspiration and ambition has to come from the top. And there's nothing at all from this board except misery. All I can see is people sitting in the stands in their bubble, caring about themselves, caring about their pay slips, having someone that they hired called Paul Tisdale falling asleep at the fucking games. That's all I see. That's what I see. You know, this is as bad as the laptop days of Gavin Strachan. You know, I don't really give a fuck about the Connect Four or the tactics board. I don't really give a shit about that. What I cared about is people that want to play for this club, not stealing the wage like Balak Wisha, you know, like Rio Atate at times. I was grateful for Rio's first 3 seasons. You know, players don't want to be there, folks. Some of them just don't. Some of them are just checked out. Some of them are just either not. I've got this told you. So a lot of people said this to me over the last few days. Is it the players that are not good enough for the system, or is it the manager that's not doesn't have the tools could take Celtic to that level? It's a hard job. Regardless who came in, it's going to be a hard rebuild. And Martin done good what he done. And, you know, can you see massive protest Sunday if we lose? It doesn't matter with the protest. It doesn't matter what you do. And I have to commend the Celtic collective of what they've done and what they've put through. And they've done a really good job. But they're not, the board are not listening. They may be seeing what's going on, but they're not listening. They don't care. They don't care about the normal day-to-day fan. And it's sad because this club, they go on about the Paradise Pit Stop and, you know, helping people that are struggling. What about the fans in the stands that are struggling to get their heads around how many times they've been fucked about over the last year? How about them? I know people said it's worse than that, where people can't even get a hot dish. I can understand that, but this is people's lives. People get up to put this jersey on for pride. People sit there for hours and watch YouTube podcasts about Celtic or watch Celtic moments, and they might be having the most awful time in the world, grieving about someone, and the only thing they think about to get them through that day is Celtic Football Club. It's the good moments. And they've seen dark times, but as you said, there's someone here that's been going to Celtic Park since the 50s, and they've seen the Keddies and they've seen the Whites and stuff like that, but this is up there with them. I'm sick of fans who happy clap, and this is why a lot of people don't watch me, because people don't like me. People don't like me saying the truth. People don't like me saying, right, you're backing that board because you think there's money in the bank and because we've been successful. That's enough evidence for you. But yeah, our fucking stadiums become, our fan base is becoming like a morgue now. They can't get their arses off the seats. If they get their asses up for they never walk alone. Stop doing the trend. Believe in your team. Believe in your team. Get them through these shit times. Believe in them. You know? Believe in it. You know? They do depend on happy clappers. Too many of them. Too many of them. You know, and I'd have to say, if people are entitled to their opinion, if they feel like the grass is green and the bank accounts are green and they're looking back to the 90s, please move fucking on from that. Move on. It's 2025. It's not 1994. Fergus came in and saved the club. Long time ago. A long time ago. I was 4 years of age when this happened. Now I'm 35 years of age. We have had success since Martin O'Neill, since getting a treble, his fourth season, going on to get into the UEFA Cup final, then Gordon Strachan coming in and getting us into Champions League knockout stages, and then Neil Lennon coming in on an interim basis, getting fucked up over Ross County in the Scottish Cup semi-final, and then building something and then winning a Scottish Cup in 2011 and 2012, winning the league, you know, then moving on to the historic night against Barcelona, then getting into the last 16 in the Champions League, and then Ronnie coming in and steering the ship, winning the league and the League Cup in his fourth season to go on to win the league, then Brendan coming in and bringing a new level, and then going on to Invincible, then double treble, then him fucking off, and before the treble, and then quad treble with Lenny, and then losing 10 in a row. Ups and downs, it's football. But one thing that does not change in football is your fans. Your fans are the 12th man. And you can all fucking go out and party in Trongate when we win a league title, but that team needs you more than ever. That team needs you more than ever. There's no point being in attendance. Do something about something when you are in attendance and fucking sing your heart out. Get it going. Stop relying on a guy that's Don't stop relying on the Green Brigade and the boys that much. They're great ultra groups, but rely on the people around you. It's a family club. Start singing together. Start getting Willie Matey going, 40 Clover going, any song going to get the place fucking moving. You know, Celtic Park has become a fucking library. Simple. I went to a game against Kilmarnock and I'm sitting there, I'm like, fucking hell. What's the crack with everyone around me? What's the crack with everyone around me? Like, are you just fans? You may pay the ticket money. You may wear the merch. Believe in it. This is your fucking team. This is your bread and butter. This is your life. You're not a fucking paper cutout sitting there in COVID. Fucking, you were moaned that you were in the stadiums. Fucking do it. Sing. You know? We beat Barcelona, Tony Watt and co. That wasn't a business. But they had fight. They had belief. And we all had belief. I fucking had belief that we could pull something against Barcelona because we had belief. And you look at that team now and we're like, fuck. You know? And you want to get behind them. You do. You really do. But it's the divide of fans. It's the yous are a bad set of fans, or you're the bad groups, or you're this, you're that. They're not bad fans. They're concerned fans. That's the difference. They're concerned set of individuals that want to feel something. They want it when they go into them stands, they want to feel magic. They want to feel like it never gets boring. When you walk up them steps of paradise, or you walk into that fucking, walk through them gates, or go through that gate, and you go to your seat, or you're sitting down, whatever, it should feel magical every time. Don't ever take it for granted. And I feel like some of these fans are just going for the sake of, oh, I have to go and see my team play. Oh, well, I'm hoping on the result. Like, have the belief, have the hunger. So then if we could go more often, and I really would, but right now it's like it's a turn off. I know it sounds sad. It's sad, but like everyone around you that fucking majority of people around you are just like moaning about the board, moaning about this. Then do something about it. They're fucking screaming to your lungs, you know? It just doesn't feel right. Sad to say. You know, it's sad to say. It hurts. You know? It hurts to see people arguing with each other online over who's right and who's wrong, or the board are right, or the fans are wrong, or the fans are right, the boards are. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. We're Celtic supporters. You know, things could be worse, but things will get worse if this shit show keeps going on. Fact, it will get worse. And it can get worse. And it will get worse. Regardless of 70 million in the bank, because that 77 million will be used as the wet day fund for next season for missing out the Champions League. You know, money is their language, but our language should be passion. Our language should be showing every single fucking team and every single fucking fan in the world what Celtic is made of. That's why I fell in love with Celtic, because I was once a Liverpool fan, didn't give a fuck about Celtic. I didn't give a shit about Celtic at one point in my life. I didn't like Celtic for what Celtic knocking at Liverpool out the road to Seville. And what did Celtic do to me? Celtic gave me one of the best moments of my life. And I never look back. I try to look forward. So for me, going to a Champions League game and witness You Never Walk Alone, which I never got to do it as a Liverpool fan back then, because never went to Anfield. For my uncle to bring me to Celtic Park and witness that. Oh, hopefully that's Dermot Desmond in that police car. Fucking robbing the fans. But joking. But to feel that in a 60,000 seater stadium on a Champions League night is a fucking magic feeling. It is a feeling that I will always remember. And I cried like a bitch after that for like 20 minutes, sitting in that Lisbon Lions lower level, right behind the goal. And my uncle's like, now you know what it's like to be Celtic. And I love it. I fucking love it. So anyone that takes support going to a game for granted, I'll take your ticket. Don't want your ticket? Don't want to be there? I'll go. I'll probably sing more fucking than you probably ever sing the whole season. I don't care to get pulled out. What I do care about is backing my team. I care about showing that I'm committed. I care that, making videos it's good. Putting jerseys on is good. Posting videos. Posting videos is good. Posting stuff, posting Instagram, Facebook stuff, it's great. It's great to be recognised from the Celtic fans, certain fans that like me stuff. But the most important thing is it's the connection that we all have. We all have this light bulbs. We're all them little light bulbs that make up the big fucking light, which is the Celtic football community. That's what I'm saying. It's just a sad state of affairs when you have this divide at the moment. The fans have to take over. It's their club, not the boards. It should be an FC, not a PLC. That's the truth. Family 20 plus going to in February, telling them to all boycott. Look at Toy Film. That hits on the head for the whole story for the last year, or even longer than that. We can sugar over the cracks, but the most important thing is it's what we feel from watching on our tellies to in the stands to hearing the results on the radio. I remember losing the Rangers in the cup semi-final, and I've been hurt over football games, but fuck me, that hurt me hard. Even talking about it hurts. It's mad to think when you lose a game, sometimes you just shrug it up and say, right, we were shite and get on with it. Simple. The opposition were a better team, and that's. But when you lose a certain game where you feel like you could have done something, that team could have done something, we could have went on and done a treble. That hurts. That cup semi-final hurts. The only positive thing is Hibs beat them in the final, and well done to Stokesy and McGeoch and Henderson and Stubbsy. But I didn't go into work for 4 days after that. 4 days. 4 days I took off. I just couldn't. I worked with folks they were not Rangers fans, but they knew I loved fucking Celtic. They knew when it was a dress down Friday, first thing I would do is wear a Celtic jersey. Because I fucking love the club. Do a joint video with Baz. 100%. I'll get on to him. I will get on to him. See what he get me on his channel. I won't be everyone's cup of tea, but fuck it. Don't care. Don't give a shit. Don't care if I lose subscribers. Don't care if I gain subscribers. What I care about is showing passion. That's the most important thing. Clarify, lad. Boycott the store. I've been boycotting the store. Even though I'm tempted to buy the training gear, but I can't. Keep your hands off it, Keith. Buy your Celtic merch on Vinted. Second hand. Good stuff. No. Look. It's been enjoyable tonight, folks. I've enjoyed the podcast. Hard results, but you know, we've been through worse. We've been through worse and on a run of games, but we haven't been through war. We've been through worse in the 90s with the old board then. But I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that watched tonight. I appreciate every comment you have put on. I understand your frustrations with the operations of the club. You know, I feel like a lot of yous I feel like a lot of yous are feeling frustrated and annoyed, and he's want to vent, and that's okay. It's okay. As I said, if there's someone that's in my podcast and they're fucking doing my head in, and they just, you know, yeah, I'd say it. I say, yeah, mate, just leave it. This is not about putting the mill down, folks. Not like that at all. It's about just telling you to look, fucking see it for yourselves. Have a look. Have a look. You see it there. What's the keeper doing? What's the keeper doing, Tom? What's the keeper doing? You know? What's the goalie doing? Not the keeper, the goalie. It's just being mad. You know? You shake yourself off. You get on with it. I'll tell you something random, right? Do you know what I've done today? And do you know what I've done during the week? I bought me missus a Scotland jersey. Although I bought her 2 Scotland jerseys for the World Cup. I bought her the 1991, the white one with the navy and the yellow one across it. She fucking loves it, absolutely loves it. And then I found this jersey on Vinted, this grey goalkeeper Scotland jersey from like 2016. She's delighted. But what did I do? I decided, right, I'm gonna buy a random jersey, and I bought myself this jersey, right? Now, not Celtic. I'll show you this now. What I bought. I bought this top. I might wear it tomorrow night on my podcast. It's a strange top to buy, considering I've only ever been to this country once. I've no affiliation with this country, bar a couple of players that have played for us. I'm going to show you. I bought this jersey, and I'll wear it tomorrow on my podcast. This one here, the Wales 2020 Euro jersey. Joe Ledley. I think Adam Matthews was probably playing with them then. I'm not sure. I bought this top. Actually, lovely jersey. Do you know how much it cost me on Vinted? £7. £7. You know what it reminds me of? It's the same concept jersey as the 2019 Celtic black one, the third one. You know, a lot of reds. Who cares? It's a Wales jersey. It's not a Rangers jersey. It's not an England jersey. It's not a Liverpool jersey. It's not a Bristol City jersey. It's not a Man U jersey. You know, it's a Wales jersey. You know, Celtic brothers. You know, yeah. Any family in Donegal? Keep my cousins are all up there. No, I've never been to Donegal in my life. No, it's a nice top. I'll fucking wear it. I don't care. You know, big bad Joe Ledley. That's why I got her. You know, after 2002 Wales jersey as well, and John Hartson and Craig Bellamy paid for him. You know, Euro 2020. When did Joe Ledley retire? He must have retired. Did he retire before that? He must have retired before that, did he? Shit. Must have been Gareth Bale then. Ah. I thought Joe Ledley. And it doesn't matter. Right, I'm off to bed. Thank you very much for watching, folks. I'll be back tomorrow night for a podcast, a short podcast, not an hour long. So sorry if your kettle boiled and you didn't get around to making your latte or your coffee or your cup of tea. I hope you enjoyed the podcast tonight. And if you can, tell your mates about me channel. Get more folks in more opinions that matter. But for the folks that are regularly contribute and comment, yay, some player. Big bad Joe. Big back Joe, excuse me. But folks, I'm going to leave it there, right? Cheers. Hey, how?